Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. This is the second video of the day. I think this was going to be pretty comical. She met her boyfriend in an orgy but expects monogamy. Andrew laughs. So this is from basically Whatever Clips. I haven't done one of these videos for a while, but I thought I'd go back and do one because this seems kind of interesting. If you don't know what Whatever Clips are, check it out. It's got some really good topics of conversation, and some of the panel or being invited on the show can get kind of rowdy, and people can get kicked off as well. So it does get a bit rowdy at times. So let's get straight into this video, and we'll comment as we go.
And you met this guy?
Well, I guess I knew him prior to that, but just like that's when we really got close and I got to know him.
Were they like high-fiving over your head or
something like that?
So okay, you broke up 20 days ago. Who broke up with who?
I broke up with him.
Why?
There was a few reasons. It was a little similar to what she was talking about. I do OnlyFans, and he was really comfortable just like kind of living at my place, using my car, and we were at Coachella, and some things had happened there, and he was like with another girl. He told her we were in an open relationship, which we weren't. We were completely monogamous when we got together. And then when I broke up with him, he vandalized my car.
Ooh.
Good times.
Mm-hmm. Good times. I sure know how to pick them.
So he had nothing going for him. He was living at your place.
I'm not gonna say he had nothing going for him, but I am not shallow. I wasn't gonna break up with him from like just lack of ambition alone. So it really took him kind of like being sneaky, weird, like, because I always thought he was so loyal, and that's why I was with him. I was like, oh, he treats me so good, he's so sweet. And then when I started to realize that he was maybe not doing that, I was like, I'm out.
You met him at a foursome.
Right, you met him.
Yeah, but that was 2 years ago. We weren't together then.
Okay.
But somebody who has an inclination towards that kind of sexual conduct is probably not the best bet for like, well, down the road I'm gonna have a monogamous relationship with this person.
Well, I think that like with certain people you could like choose to be poly, and then other people you choose to be in a committed relationship. So I disagree with that.
Well, hang on. So if you
look, we're living in a world now where people are gonna do what they want to do, even if they come whatever.com, even if Andrew and the panel are going to say, look, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. I think these days men and women are very open into what they do. We may not agree with it as people looking in, but it's just the way of the world now, especially for this young generation. At the end of the day, they do what they want to do. Yes, it can affect them in the long run, but they have to see that for themselves. All we can do is maybe try and give them a bit of knowledge to get in there and make their life better, but it's entirely up to them and their experiences. You can't change people.
If you don't mind if I ask a few questions here.
Sure.
Can I give you a scenario?
Sure.
Let us imagine for a moment that this relationship that you had with this gentleman worked out, and you're 35 years old, and you're sitting around with little Stephanie, your daughter, and she says, Mommy, how'd you meet Daddy? And you're like, well, we were at a... there was body fluids going all over the place.
Yeah.
And they high-fived over my head, and I knew then your dad was the one for me. Like, does that sound like maybe if you think about that in the future,
romantic.
That future conversation, does that maybe produce
cute.
red flags in your head?
I thought it was cute, like a love story, you know. I mean, we didn't have to tell our kid that per se. We could just say we met like from mutual friends.
That's not a lie.
Nicholas Spark, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Don't blow me up.
Like, it's not like I was the first time meeting him, but like I had met him pretty recent before that. So, yeah, good times.
Well, I mean, but you would have to then lie to your kids, right?
I would be honest then. I don't really have a problem if
Yeah,
they're
you'd
old
be
enough.
honest, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to be honest about me doing OnlyFans, like all sorts of things. So
look, the way he put it, that was kind of deep at the end of the day, because it hit home as if, like I said, she did get pregnant, and she did find out who the father was and what happened. That would be something that she may have thought, or he may have thought, Jesus, we should have been a bit more careful there. Sometimes we do think, generally, should I have done that, or shouldn't I have done that at the end of the day? But in the long run, it could have its consequences, like a child asking questions like that. It could be pretty embarrassing. I don't think she really took it deeply, what it actually meant to him saying it. I don't think she got it. She sort of laughed it off, but I think she did, in the back of her mind, realise the seriousness of it. But definitely something to think about.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not a liar. I'm not.
But I mean, would
him.
it make you uncomfortable to have that conversation at 35 with little Stephanie, with the origin story of how I met your father was at a gangbang?
I mean, I think, like, you know, when people become a certain age, you're going to have the conversation about the birds and the bees and stuff like that anyways. I don't think when they, you know, are like a newborn baby or like a toddler, I need to like necessarily be sharing those details.
No, but I mean, even 12, 13, right? Something in there when kids are starting to go through puberty and they become curious about that type of thing. You know what I mean? And they're asking about it. Would you feel any shame at all telling that story to little Stephanie?
I think that they could learn from my experiences, both negative and positive, and I could teach them about safe sex and, you know, times where maybe like I wasn't being that safe. And
so say a safe way to do it. That's what you want to teach little Stephanie?
Story.
Wait, sorry, two people were talking.
I was asking, what if somebody else told Stephanie that story? How would you feel about how you met him?
I'm not really ashamed of it, honestly. It is what it is. It also, like, there were boundaries, and like we became very, very close friends before we ever got together. And at the time I was just with that partner who I was like experimenting and doing those things with.
Is he still friends with the guy? Like
they already weren't friends before that happened.
Oh, they were just roommates. Okay.
Well, they were friends at the time, but they fell out like long before we got together.
Okay. So you ended it 20 days ago. Has there been a rebound?
No, I've been completely celibate, single.
Okay.
Just doing
you had a question for her?
No, sorry, I asked.
Oh, she already answered? Okay.
She answered it.
All right. And, okay, no rebound, no guys in the picture?
No.
Nothing?
I don't have the tolerance right now.
No tolerance?
Mm-mm.
You're sick? Are you sick of men?
I'm sick.
Look, she had an experience, and she's basically told everyone on the podcast about her experiences. And a lot of people, it's got, look, you know, whatever clips have got over 1 million subscribers, so this is a serious channel. I do think she's a little bit dizzy and doesn't really see the real life, but it will creep up on her the older she gets, I think.
Sick and tired.
Sick and tired.
I'm going to therapy. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. You said that you...
well, but you might be only an away from Mr. Right.
No, I actually was very keen on no longer participating in that stuff, which this boyfriend knew, which is why when he told the girl at Coachella we were open, I was like, I'm out. You know that's not true. So those days are over. I'm no longer fun anymore.
During those days,
I don't think that's true.
Yeah. Thank you. That's what he said.
Okay, so during those days, how many orgies were you participating in? Have you?
Again, define. I guess 4 doesn't count as one. I guess I never had one.
Let's just count it.
Kind of community?
Yeah, with him.
Okay.
Only with him.
Well, would you go to sex parties? Would you go to sex parties?
Yeah. But not many.
How many did you go to?
Oh, actually, that's a lie. I've been to a few, actually.
More than 10?
What's that?
More than 10?
Oh, no.
5 to 10?
5.
Sex parties?
Let's say 5.
Okay.
And you would have sex with your partner, or you would swap?
I was only with him, and there were times where I've been to parties like that, and I'm just watching or interacting, but not having intercourse. So
I don't quite believe that, to be honest with you. I just don't. I just don't believe that. Why would you go there? And we know at these orgy parties it all goes off. All hell breaks loose with drugs, booze, party stuff. That's crazy. I just don't believe that at the end of that. I think she's just trying to play it down. You wouldn't go there just to look around and not participate. where, and you are the 1% not doing anything. I just don't believe that at the end of the day. She went along for the fun, enjoyed it, and probably wishes some of the stuff didn't happen because she's got to live with that. But that's life. It's part of attending those kind of parties.
Was your partner with other people?
We would have threesomes a lot.
What's that like to just watch? Just sit there and watch while people do that?
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
It's interesting. It can be really overwhelming. And I would get turned on by watching him with other people. But then, you know, you experience things like jealousy, which is natural. But usually I would experience that more like if it was like after the fact. Like if it was just like in the moment, like I actually really liked it.
Sure. What about you?
Well, that's the end of the video. That's kind of deep at the end of the day, but like I said, it is what it is. But I suppose Lishi.
All the belts are on the line. Live on DAZN worldwide May 18th. Buy now at DAZN.
Least, I'd say that basically she is honest at the end of the day. But what a story to put out there at the end of the day. Because like I said, her kid might be watching this in 10, 15 years time and think, wow, that was my mum? I never knew that. So sometimes things do come back to bite. Look, she's living her life. If you're happy with that and you've had those experiences, then fair enough. I'm not a judge, but I have to look at sort of both sides of the, both sides, and keeping it real. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment on the video in what you think about it. Thank you, wherever you are in the world.